Well, good morning to everyone here today, and good morning, friends. In writing this commencement address, I wrestled with whether or not to open with an inspirational quote, a word of biblical wisdom, which I'm sure was expected by some of you, or an anecdote describing the night that three Wheeler students snuck into Raider Valley to obscenely vandalize our football field freshman year. But I'm going to have to wait to tell you that story later on. I wrestled with how best to reach out to so many different lives, possessing so many different stories. And I could think of no better opener than this. I love you. And I thank each one of you for carrying me to today with your encouragement, with your laughter, and with your passion for achievement. Now, we have made it. Today is one of those truly surreal moments. We are anxious, ready, excited, and bored. Some of us are clinging on to every last moment. Others, well, you've been checked out since January. Regardless, though, I feel as though we have imagined this day countless times, and that it is destined to rank among the most significant of our lives. When we are married, when our children are born, when we become grandparents, attending our own grandchildren's graduation. And we will see this day as a turning point, as a rededication to the vision that we have for ourselves and for the rest of our lives. But let us not forget that none of this would have been possible without our mentors, seated among us here today, who have seen us through until the very end. You have instilled in us values and planted in us the seeds of knowledge, understanding, and wisdom. You have coached us on the field, and you have molded us in the classroom. Both have formed the people that we are today, and we are eternally grateful for your service and your love and your desire to make us life learners and better people. And today we begin the journey to finish what you have started and to reward your good faith. And for those faculty members who are graduating with us today, allow me not only to speak for the class of 2013, but for every other class that was enriched by your teaching. Allow me to speak for all those other students when I say that there are no words. Your impact is immeasurable, and you will be dearly and fiercely missed. This remarkable journey has lasted 4 long years. Walton has been a battle, it has been a race, but today we cross over into a new, unknowable frontier. Though the future may be daunting, the rigor of our education has readied us for the real world. At Walton, we have learned firsthand that success demands late nights, early mornings, and the will to stand strong in the face of adversity. Whether there was 10 seconds left in the game and Laster was on our 7-yard line and the whole of the state championship was on the line, or whether we were in the midst of an impossible DBQ, whether we were 10 points down at the academic bowl, or we were fine-tuning that research paper the night before, we Raiders know how to fight in the fourth quarter of life. In our lives, if we face unemployment, or if someone we love becomes incredibly sick, we'll know how to fight through it, and we'll know who to call. Because this class is so compassionate. From Habitat for Humanity to Relay for Life, from all those letters to American soldiers, to Raider Joes. May that same tenderness, taught to us by so many here today, including one individual, who humbly wielded only a broom and a trash can. May that same natural kindness, that loving listening, never leave us. But today should be devoted as much to reflection as to looking forward, though this is the time for grasping one another and crying with one another and laughing with one another. Undoubtedly for the last time in a setting just as this. It is also the time to take each other by the hand and to look into the eyes of those that we have shared our lives with and say, don't forget to become the person you've always dreamed and talked of being, that world changer, that standard bearer, that trailblazer. Don't hold your goals lightly, because on the road that you take, there will be those who will try to lead you astray, who will try and convince you that life is too hard and will urge you to give up. The pressures of comparison and competition may beat you down. Your failures and misjudgments may be casted into your face, and some will doubt you, and some will reject you, and some will waitlist you. But we must never give up on our ambitions, and we must never doubt ourselves. Whatever the future holds, from this day onward, we shall never allow others to define our success, and we shall never allow our success to define who we are. Let us abandon the numbers by which we have judged each other's worth, our APs, our GPAs, our SATs, and instead begin to count the number of challenges that we have overcome and the number of lives that we have touched. No matter our mistakes and no matter what road we've chosen, there is a plan and a purpose for our lives, and we must remain steadfast in pursuit of that purpose. This is Walton's legacy. This past year, or this fall rather, at the homecoming game, I was awarded the most likely to change the world superlative. Now, while receiving this particular award was a blessing, one person cannot carry the weight of this task on his own, nor should he. You see, I have crossed my name off of this certificate and have instead written the class of 2013. Because I believe with all my heart, y'all, that every single one of you and every single one of us is most likely to change the world. All of us, with our diversity of talents and gifts, with our passion and determination, is capable of being the difference in someone else's life. We cannot appoint one person to make the difference in the world that we all wish to see, and we cannot wait any longer. Remember that this is the generation that has seen tsunamis and earthquakes level entire nations, displacing entire peoples. This is the same generation that sat in circles in mats around their first grade teachers, trying to make sense of how 2 buildings could just fall out of the sky. This generation can barely remember a time before this great recession. Because of the challenges that we have lived through, we know that we cannot be a factious body of individuals aimlessly pursuing our own version of the American dream. But we must be united, because the future will require bold action from us, and we must be ready for that. The world is changing. History is calling, and the mantle of innovation and the future of our freedom is now ours to bear, ours to fight for, and ours to defend. There is no one else now, no other generation, no other group of adults. We stand on the verge of our own destiny, ready to do more than speak words, but move and go and change and conquer. This is our moment. The time is now, and we shall not fail. Thank you.